There we go. And I'm going to pass over to Jérôme. Over to you.
All right, good evening, everybody. Just a very quick one. So tonight we're doing a PowerPoint. We obviously PowerPoint has been evolving in the last few years. People use it in different ways, and you could be using for, I don't know, if you're quantifying your lessons, you've got your sentence builder and you've got all these things in there. If you are a super genius like Jane, that was going to show you in a sec the wonderful things you can do with it as a collaboration tool. You can be using for grammar, it can be used for all sorts of things. So it's been decided to go through along the ribbon and showing you bits and bobs and all the little tricks that you can play. And with PowerPoint, so hopefully you're going to be learning lots of things tonight. So I pass it on to Jane, who's going to show us a wonderful collaboration tool.
Okay, thanks, Jérôme. I think you're actually the real master of this.
Yeah, I wish.
So I'll share my screen, and so I don't use PowerPoint as much as I used to because of OneNote, but I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm just gonna move you, hopefully. There we go. So what I've got here is a PowerPoint that I've already created, and I've created templates. So everyone can see that, I guess. This is the master template, and it's got a task on it. And I shared it with my class who happened to be here tonight. So thanks, Jérôme, Helen, Adelaide. So Adeline, sorry. I simply clicked share, and I allowed people outside my organization to have the link. Anyone with the link can edit. So this is what I would do with my class, basically. So it's a way for me to see what all my class are doing and to ensure that all my class are involved and thinking hard and working hard. So I know that one person is in here. Normally, what would happen, you can see at the top here, it says GC, guest contributor. So I'm not sure who that is, but I've sent the link to everybody, and I'm hoping that they can pop in. So if Julia and Jérôme and Helen can click on the link that I shared with you.
Yep, I'm on it.
You're in, and then, so I can see there's somebody on this slide here. I'm not sure who that is. I've got two guest contributors. In your own organization, you'll be able to see the initials of the people who are in. So you'll know who is on which page. So there's no cheating, really. So what I would ask my students to do would be to look at the instructions. So here I've given them a 90-word essay. Today's task: what is your favorite way to spend a day off? What did you do the last time you got to leave your house? Do you remember that? What will you do when you're allowed to go back to normal? So I've got, you know, a usual 90-word essay task, and I would do this with my class. And then I would see each student on each slide, and I know who was on each slide because I'd have in the top right-hand corner, I would have their initials. So I would know and I could see, and then they can start, and I can see already, even in this view, I can see that this is Jérôme. He's found his page because I named each page with the name of my class. And so Jérôme is telling us what he likes to do. He likes to spend a bit of time on Twitter, and who doesn't? So this is one view, and I can see down here, who have I got here? Adeline's, oh, I've gone beyond. Adeline is here. Oh, we're going in. Yes, fantastic. This is fantastic. And I can comment. Now, what I would do in my classes, I would probably not be sharing my screen, but I would still be in teams. And so I could talk to individual pupils so that they are not looking at each other's work via the shared screen. Now, if I wanted the whole overview, I would go to grid view, so slide sorter at the bottom. And then I've got the whole overview, so I can see who's on which page, and I can just flip between them, and I can zoom in this way. So I can see what everyone, so Helen's, I just love being in front of my computer. Helen, do you remember the last time you left the house?
Are you asking me to write this or say?
No, it's just having a conversation like I probably would in my lesson.
I got on my bicycle today and I posted a birthday card to my uncle who is 90.
Brilliant. That sounds like a good, a good reason to get out of the house. So that's one way you can use it. So the slide sorter, I think, and having the whole grid view is fantastic, because when you've got your class of 20 or 25 or 30, whatever the numbers are in your class, to see their little initials in the bottom left-hand corner here and know what they're doing. And sometimes I do see it where they're on each other's page and I can say, Helen, you're on Jerome's page. Can you get back onto your own page and get on with your own work? Now, one thing I haven't tried, but I have seen it. So if I just go back to the normal view, is this. I haven't tried it yet, but you could have two people. So I want Jerome and Helen to be on the same page, and you could split up your whole class. So you would have fewer slides. So say you've got a class of 30, you would have 15 slides, and you would have on one half, you would have one person, and on the other half, you'd have the other person, and you'd have exactly the same information on both sides of the screen, and they would sort of play like splat, that kind of thing. I mean, you can do all sorts of things, but this is something that came into mind. So for example, I would say in English, oh, there's a mistake there. Now, and the idea is, if you have a pen, you should be able to write on there. So my students do have a pen and they could write on the screen. If not, they can use the pen from PowerPoint, I think, with their mouse. So what I want them to do, the first person to see it, and so it's a competition now between Jerome and Helen. Have you both found the page? Sorry?
I'm sorry.
Have you found it, Helen?
Oh, Jeremy started already. He's cheating.
I was practicing. I'm practicing.
Look, children, can you just behave now? Okay, so all you need to do now is the first person to put a line through what I've said. So, and I'm going to say it in English, so obviously you've got to translate. Now we surf the internet and we talk to virtual friends. So it's Jerome versus Helen. Oh, Helen's doing a bit of writing. Now we surf the internet and we talk to our virtual friends.
We've done it.
Yeah, you've done it. Brilliant. And so you can see straight away you can do. And I think you could do all sorts of things. They could play all sorts of different games, Connect 4, that kind of thing. I think would be quite good fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure other people have lots of other ideas, but what's really good about the whole using PowerPoint like this to collaborate is student ratio. The whole idea of having as many students as possible working as hard as they can for the whole time, and you can see what they're doing. There we go.
Really cool.
How do you
Slides into 2 students. All I did was I copied the bits I wanted onto one side, and then I selected by using the Shift key. I selected all the ones I wanted, like this, and then I Control C, and I went and Control V, and I moved them all over to the other side, and then I inserted a line, and that was it. That's all I did.
That's great.
Simple,
really good.
Really easy use, and actually it's a great way for you to see them doing their work.
Right.
I think. There we go.
Thank
Fantastic.
I can't see any other questions, but I'll stop sharing and then watch Jerome do his magic now.
I wouldn't know about that, but I'll do my best anyway. See what we can do.
Okay.
Right. I should be sharing my screen. I'm going to go on desktop. Probably will be better. Okay. Right. So I was on this. And I still don't see my screen again. So I'll stop sharing because it's not working. You should be seeing more to see that. The PowerPoint party, can you see this?
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent, thank you very much. Okay, super. So we mentioned that we wanted to be following the ribbon to start from home and move forward and see the different tools. I've got a PowerPoint ready here, but we'll be stopping. So we've seen Jane's stuff and we'll have a summary on top there. And we're starting by the home tab. discovered a few things actually while going through the Home tab. And obviously, when you're there, you've got several possibilities to start your slides. And what I discovered, I have to say, not so long ago, is the outline. So I don't know if you already, probably you clever people around, you know what to do. But I found that was pretty amazing. So because I'm on a Mac, and I recorded it because I had to go on my remote desktop connection on my computer at school, so I could be using it. So I recorded that yesterday to make sure it was working. So I'm going to pop into the presentation mode, and I have a Word document, and I'm going to go through it. There's no sound anyway, so I hope you can still see that. Can you? Because I don't see the screen around.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we can.
Cool. Okay, super. Right. So what you need to do then, you need to have your titles, the titles of your slides, and you make it as heading 1 into Microsoft Word. Then the rest of the things underneath you put as heading 2. And by doing this little by little, you have 2 types of. It's not very clear on the video, but the titles, they're heading 1s, and the rest is heading 2. Okay. So once you have done that, there's something very, very fancy that you can make, and we'll stop that. If you go here on top of the little button there, you have that. It's a customers quick access toolbar. So you should be able to do that on every computer. And I'll continue there. When you arrive in there, you have popular comment, but you want to add something else. You're going to be clicking on this. Then you go on to popular all commands, which is the following one there. And down there, we are going to be looking for send to PowerPoint. And I thought it was so amazing. So cool. So click on that little button there. If I can find it again. There you go. Send to Microsoft PowerPoint. You add it there onto the side. There it is. Click on OK. Done. Once it's done there, I have just that new little icon just appeared on top here. When I click on this, it's going to open a PowerPoint straight away. And look, it's done my slides already. Wow, that was pretty amazing. I found that really, really cool. So you work on your Word document, and by doing these little manipulations there, you can just create your slides already. So I thought that was pretty nifty.
And I don't know if you can see the chat, Jérôme, but Sabine is shouting, wow. Everyone's saying very cool. I mean, it is magic and it is wonderful, meaning you can
That
really...
is so amazing. And you can add that little thing in your top of your ribbon here, or you also have the opportunity to do it. I'll just get off my presentation there. Now it does. I'm going to be wanting to do that. He's done it already. So there we go. I'm going to get out of this if he wants to. Okay, I'm out of there. So when you're actually on your, I'm going to try to get into another PowerPoint, just a normal presentation. If I go here, I could also go onto outline. And technically by doing this, you can import your, if you created your outline already into Microsoft Word, you can just click on this and go and get your document, and boom, you can put it in there and it will be doing exactly the same thing. But I thought it was so nifty to have that little thing on top. I don't have it on the Mac, I have it on the computer at school, to have the little button there and just send it straight away and you have your slides done already. That's
I wonder,
cool.
Jérôme, there's just a question there about, I know that this is being recorded.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, is it possible to run through the directions again? Would it be okay to just demonstrate it?
Yeah, sure.
Live
Sadly,
there?
I cannot do it on this because it's on the Mac, and the Mac, it doesn't work.
Right.
But I'm happy to go through the video again.
Okay.
Which is absolutely fine.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to do that.
Such a thing, and if people haven't known that that is a possible thing, it's really, so what you're doing really is you're showing us how we can create a shortcut to doing it.
Correct. That's not only you're using the fact that you can create a PowerPoint straight away from Microsoft Word, which is amazing, but also now you're creating little shortcuts on top there. So I'm going to go run through the video again. I can't really go and run it from there. You probably can still see. So what you need to do, what do you want me to run the whole thing, or just how to get the little icon on top?
Yeah, I think all of it, because it's
okay.
For some people, if you're not aware about using heading styles, that can
Yeah.
be new as well. That even in Word.
Okay, so when you're in Microsoft Word, you have the possibilities to put different headings. Okay, so what we need to be doing here is the title of our slides need to be becoming heading 1. So you highlight them and click on this, and make them heading 1. So I move forward. So I've got this, I've got quantifiers, adverbs, time expressions, done. Okay, so now the rest here is simple because I just need to make it as heading 2. So same, I highlight it and make it heading 2. Now we can move forward very quickly. It's done very, very quickly. Once you have done this, what you want to do then, you want to get into the little button that you have on top here. And you want to have
Jérôme, can I just suggest, could you not use the format painter as well? So you could copy the text there.
You could, yeah, of course.
Double click format painter and then just triple click the text for each one.
You can, yeah, absolutely. You can do that too. It's absolutely fine. I was showing a repetitive way so people can see the way it works. Obviously, yeah, you can obviously do that. It's absolutely no problem at all. Format painter, our new best friend, isn't it? It's amazing. Obviously, you can use format painter once you've done it and to go even much faster than that. But by doing the heading 1, heading 2 repetitively, if you have a large amount, you want to use format painter, absolutely, Joe. So again, I'm going to be going into that little button there on top. And I want to get into a customized quick access toolbar, more commands.
So if we could just say, about the customizing, then to customize it, it's just a little, is it like 3 lines or something?
It's just a little thing here, just a little button there.
Okay, so the little button.
It's just a little button on top of the customized quick access toolbar.
Yeah.
You should have that on top.
And can we do the format painting another time, Sonia?
Yeah, well, we can speak about format painting.
Not now.
Yeah, no problem at all. So click on that button there on top. It's going to open the popular commands. Already, you can see that here. I've already got some stuff on top here anyway. But I'm going to make sure that I'm adding that one into my Microsoft Word, obviously not in the PowerPoint. So I do this. I want to go not in popular command, but I want to go in all commands because it's a command which you have at the very, very bottom. So it's going to be sent to Microsoft PowerPoint. So when you click on it, you highlight it, you click add. Obviously, it's already there because it's just a demo. So you click on it, add. It's going to be adding it here. You click on OK, and you're going to have the little icon appearing on top here, just there. Okay.
And then that's a once for all, isn't it? You've
and
done
that's
that.
it. And once you have that, you send the whole document is ready into a PowerPoint. It's gonna open a new document, and you want to enable editing, and there we go. You have all these things appearing there. Done and dusted. And so if you already pre-prep your things, it's even faster.
Brilliant.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's really good. I think it did need twice because it was so new to people, and you're still getting as much magic wow with loads of exclamation marks.
Excellent.
And by the way, if I could just say to everybody, on these workshops, our idea is that we aren't necessarily going to go very, very quickly through. We will stop to just reinforce things if necessary. So
yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no rush. I'm sure we're going to be going to there's another one next week anyway, so there's plenty to say, plenty to mention, so it's all good. Right, so obviously you have that way to start your PowerPoint. You can prepare it through your Microsoft Word. If you move on to the second option, the second option is obviously using the new slides. Depending, you allow some slides, whatever templates that you need. But you can also reuse slides. I'm not going to be showing you what to do there, but if you click on that, if you have used some things, like I've done some webinars before, I'm sure like Joe's got hundreds of webinars he's done, and you want to reuse some slides and everybody things that to start, you can just reuse the slides from before, and it's going to be coming into your PowerPoint. Just keep the ones that you want, get rid of the other ones, and that works a treat too. So it's also a way just to save time into your work. And the third option is obviously just clicking on the slides, pick a layout tailored to your needs. It's really up to you, obviously. So everybody does normally that. You open it quickly, you pick one, and after, according to whatever you need, you do this. Obviously, these specific slides, we have the icons, and obviously most people know that, but when you click on it, you will get a table which is going to be fitting, or a chart, or some smart art, or all sorts, and or a film, and everything's going to be fitting exactly into your rectangle there. And it's quite nifty. It's quite good also to have that stuff happening. And here's an example. You see how to get a croissant. But it's just nice and neat, and it fits into your bottom, into your square.
Can I just say, I really thought that was just a pretty picture in the middle. I had no idea that each of those. So if you could just show us those again, the pictures. So that's the way, isn't it? If you go back one.
Yep. That
So
one?
that's the way that if you select you want a video or any of those things.
That's it, yeah.
By selecting it, it then makes
you select these two. I can do a quick demo on the other one, on the empty one, but it's I think most people do that anyway, and you just click on whatever you need and it will just neatly appear into your slide. Now if it's in very nicely in the area, so good. Okay, we're going to pass into the insert ribbon. There we go. So if I move into this one here, okay, so we all know about tables. People use tables. Myself, I don't especially use very much tables when I do PowerPoint, but some people do. So it works a bit like Excel, really. It's very, very straightforward. If you go into your tables, like here, I'm going to pretend I'm going to do one. I'm going to insert. I'm going to get how many columns you want, how many rows you want, and it's going to be putting that inside. And obviously you have all these options after. Once your table is created, you can change colors and layout and all sorts. It's a bit like Excel. So there's nothing very fancy about it. You can change the colors, make it looking probably prettier, but it's pretty straightforward.
And almost just to say there, that is quite, sometimes it's difficult importing a table from somewhere else, isn't it? So
yes, I'm going to come up to something like that later on after in this section when you're going to be inserting objects if we have time today. And you can insert something directly, or even a document you've put before as an object inside your PowerPoint. And if you make modification in our object, it just changes also inside your PowerPoint. So they're linked together. That'll be coming up later. But yeah, you're right. It could be difficult sometimes. Insert pictures. So you have 4 possibilities when you insert your pictures. And you have your photo browser. We'll look for pictures in your photo folder. It's not going to be looking into the computer. So if you downloaded some stuff onto your computer, you need to make sure if you click on this one, it's going to just looking in the photo browser. So if you want to make a photo album, which is really straightforward to do actually, into a PowerPoint, you can see that next time too. It's within minutes you can make a photo album. It's very good. Picture from files, so it's in files into your whole computer. Pictures in the bank of image is the stock images. I'm going to play with that in a second, do a little demo on that. And online pictures, it will look for pictures in Bing. So because it's Microsoft, they work with Bing. Pictures are, I'm not especially keen on these pictures myself, but you know, it does the trick if you want to do stuff quickly. It does work well. That's another nifty one. I'm going to have to do a little demo on this one. I think I absolutely love this one, screenshot. So that's a little button here, and I'm going to be going on to this one. Right, I want to make sure that I have, oh, that's perfect. I got something open here. Right. Now, people tend to be putting things and copying and pasting, which is importing pictures or going onto the internet, getting a picture of something or clipping something, saving it onto the computer. And after that, what do? They have to go through the picture, insert and things like that. But you don't have to do that all the time anyway. What you can do a screenshot. So if you want to make a screenshot of your of the windows which are already open into your computer, like for example this one, and just click on it, it's already there. Okay, so if you want to take a picture of a window which is already open on the other side and you don't want to save it, make a screenshot of it and save it into the computer, you just click on this little button there, insert, and it will be just putting it straight away into it. And you can also do the same thing with the clipping tool, screen clipping. I'm going to go onto a page which is open. Well, this one is open at the moment, but I could have maybe practiced and gone onto another one. I just do this. and it's going to be putting it straight away into my PowerPoint presentation too. You can see also on the right-hand side, the design ideas is deciding that my design is not good enough. If I'd like to propose some new stuff there. But I think that's quite a nifty little one also, which I think is brilliant and saves lots and lots of time.
Do you know
You
that
can't
at the
really
moment we're
see
just,
what, yeah.
sorry, we're only seeing your application, the PowerPoint at the moment. We're not seeing.
Oh, I haven't said the right things again. Okay, new share, desktop. So you should be able to see this now. And I'm going to start again. Do apologize. So again,
we've got a request from Justin. Can Joanne redo it slowly for her slow brain, please? I think we're all requesting that. So really, don't assume we know anything, Jerome. There will be some real
no problem
here, but some of us, like me, are not.
So I do start again. So screenshot, amazing little tool. So if I go into this, 2 options. The first one, if I've got some windows open and I want the whole window being clipped into my PowerPoint, and just click. You can see these are all the windows open at the moment. I'm going to click on this one, and it's already straight away into my PowerPoint. Can you see my window now?
Yes, we can now see.
Super.
Well, we see the result of it. We saw it.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah. And if I could do exactly the same thing also afterwards, go back to insert.
Justin was very happy with that, by the way. We got an OMG for that.
Excellent. Screen clipping can do exactly the same, but there we go. You probably can hear my son bouncing upstairs. Screenshot, I just take a screenshot of this one and straight away I've got it into my PowerPoint. Okay, so there we go. So saves time. Also make sure obviously that you have the right window open, otherwise you might have to start again. But it's quite a little nifty tool also, which is great. I'm going to move quickly to add-ins, and after add-ins, there will be Julia's turn to be talking about different things. So I've got 2 or 3 things to mention there. Add-ins are very, very good. This is controlled by my school, so I'm not allowed to be getting all sorts of applications. I have to make sure that the technician is happy that I'm downloading some stuff from school. They have to be free. So I've got a couple of add-ins already here. I've got Microsoft Forms, which is also amazing. On the Mac, you have to get the add-in. But if you are on a Microsoft computer, on OS, Microsoft OS, you don't have to. It should be appearing already into the insert ribbon. It should be there. So if I click on Form here, and she wants to do it, there we go. I could put either copy the URL of a form I already have, or it could be looking into all the forms I have done, and I'm gonna have to log in. Okay, that's fine. I can do that, and it will be inserting. It's not going to take 2 days, and will be. Oh, that's quite cool. It's fine. I think it's gone to the wrong side, but it's probably used my other email address, which doesn't matter. But anyway, when you click on it, you have access to all of the forms that you have worked on before, and you should be able to put anything that you want into it. So if you have something on I don't know, a little exercise you want them to do very quickly from the previous PowerPoints, everything appears into it, and I think that's really, really good. Another little thing you can do, you can see Menti is coming up. QR for Office. I like this one very much. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get rid of this one if it doesn't want to, it doesn't matter. Q can create QR codes directly into PowerPoint. I spoke about that before and I posted a few things on Twitter about it. I think it's really handy. I even created some listening exercises with the children. I recorded myself and I created a QR code linked to that. I put the address on top there. Which is an address that I've got in the cloud. And what they have to do after with the iPad or a phone or something, they have to scan the QR code created into PowerPoint, and they have to write down whatever they hear. So obviously it's based on a sentence builder that we've been working on. And obviously they've got 95% of understanding of all the things we're doing, and they should be able to identify all of these words. So it's really handy. It's very straightforward to do. You can put all sorts here. You can see you can put email addresses or mail too. We don't use our telephones or SMS before custom, you can change it, but you have our email addresses. So if you have a link to a sound that you created into your OneCloud or your Dropbox or something, you can do that easily, or send people, for example, at the end of a PowerPoint presentation to the presentation that you save on cloud or something. So that's really, really handy and very, very straightforward. But the cool thing also is you can also change the color. That I really like. Sometimes on applications, you just have the plain black. I quite like the fact that I can actually change into a, I don't know, blue or green or whatever. And finally,
you've got Danielle, Sonia, and others absolutely loving that and not realizing that. I think quite a lot of us have gone and created.
It's a free app, a free add-in QR for Office. It's really good, and yeah, it's very, very quick. You can put it straight into it. Great. And
then Sabine's question. I think you were saying you have got to ask your institution to allow you access to.
Well, I have to. I don't know if it's the case for you, but I know that because we're 365 at school and we all have their account. So if I want to get anything like that, I need to ask the technician if he's happy for me to have access to this stuff.
Yeah. Right.
But usually it's fine, so there's no problem. They are free applications anyway. If I go back to the non-demo PowerPoint, and that will be the last thing before Julia can come in. You can put Menti into it. So again, if you as an add-in, and you can put Menti into your PowerPoint directly. Obviously, you don't have to do that because you can do it on the side. But you know, if you want to stay in the same area, you can do this. So how about we have a go? What is your favorite pudding? I'm going to put it on, and it should be live. Come on, people. Go on to menti.com, use the code 9063062 and send us some stuff. Hopefully it's going to work. It should be.
Danielle is getting very, very excited here. Yes,
excellent.
It's lovely to see your excitement, Danielle Warren.
Lovely, Danielle.
And people, by the way, are trying it as you're doing this. So we're getting feedback saying, I've tried it and it works.
That's amazing. So hopefully the Menti is working and we should be getting some stuff live coming up in bits of time.
I've sent mine, but it hasn't come up yet.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've submitted mine. It's not come through.
It's not coming. Oh no, I tried today. It was working.
Are you going to show how you added it to the PowerPoint?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Right. Go on, computer. I'm gonna have this working with Steam, that computer now. I'm just gonna have to change. It doesn't want to. All right, I get off. So it doesn't want to. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to go on menti.com, and it definitely works. It worked today, so I don't know why it's not working now.
We believe you, Jérôme.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you just want to show us how to insert it?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. It's again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get of this. I'm going to delete it. And what you need to do then, because I'm going to go back to add-ins and I'm going to go to Mentimeter. So once it's there, what you need to have, the, I'm going to have to go to Menti. If you want to, come on then. I can go.
At any point, if you need me to stop the recording.
No, it's fine. Hopefully, I'm not going to be taking people's much time, and it's.
No, it's only if you had to show any private details. That was.
Oh no, God, no! I made sure to be honest, it's not very exciting stuff to show anyway. Right. So I need to present it. Oh, there we go. We've got all these results appearing already. That's really cool. I need to choose just get the email address, the link on top of that window here before we'll start to see one like that. Then I go back into my PowerPoint. I've got the link. I'll put it in here. Come on. Control V. Thank you. There we go. Okay, you can see it now. Yeah. And obviously I can change the size of the window also normally. But you can, that's it. You can move it a little bit. I should be able to change it and move it a little bit more. But anyway, you can see live, it worked in the PowerPoint. Let's move it around.
Jérôme, can I just mention, you know the floating toolbar you've got bottom left in Mentimeter?
Yep.
If you click on the stop voting option, you can then click on any of the items in the word cloud and remove them if they're inappropriate.
Really?
Yes.
Joe, you're a legend. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you want to just try it now? Just quickly.
So
If you
what do I need to do,
hover
sorry?
over the floating toolbar, bottom left. Bottom left.
This one, yeah.
Stop voting.
It's so
Say
small.
stop voting, or click. There should be a stop voting option there.
Okay, hold on. 30 seconds.
Okay,
again.
or click on the 3 line.
Total all 3 lines, yeah.
Is there stop vote? Oh, okay. Well, in the standard Mentimeter, you click stop voting, and then you can click on one of the items, and it will remove it.
Really?
Yes.
That's super. Well, it's good to know. Perfect. Top tip from Joe again tonight.
No worries.
Brilliant. There we go. I'm going to stop here with that super Menti, and Julia is going to show us some exciting stuff. So I'll stop sharing, and Julia is going to be showing us some cool stuff.
And you're coming back later, aren't you?
And I'm coming back just after, yeah, unless if Esther is on. I don't know if she's here yet because she was teaching, wasn't she? But she's got some things to show us too.
Right, lovely.
Okay. Shall I start with showing the date?
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, so I'm going to show 2 things that are, especially for language teachers, maybe interesting, namely how to add your date in your target language automatically, and it will update every day, which is amazing. And then how to add foreign characters. So there are different ways of doing it, and I'll show a few different ones. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Share, here we go. Release this is the right one. Okay. So hopefully you can see an empty PowerPoint now. Yes?
We do.
Yes, excellent. Good. So if you want to enter a date, is there a way of getting rid of the zoom bar at the top? Because then I can't see my menu underneath it. It just covers it up.
Yes, if you go up to view,
can I?
Oh, hang on. Because I'm not showing. I'm not. If you go on to more, one of them is to hide controls or.
Yeah, I hit hide control. Got it. Okay, sorry. Now I can see. Okay, so what you need is insert. Here we go. And well, on mine it looks a little bit different. On Jerome's it was a bit bigger. So on mine it's just this tiny little icon here with a calendar with a clock on it. And yes, sometimes it looks like this. So you need to make sure that you're not in a text box. So make sure you just kind of click on the background, because then it looks different. Because if I now do this again, go there. Now I'm getting this bigger window, which is really what I want. And now I can click here, date and time. And I've got a list of languages. So these are the languages that I've got installed on my computer. I've installed some random ones, as you can see, just to try it out, really. Sorry, I don't actually speak Afrikaans or Arabic. That would be good, but no. And I'll show in a minute how to do that. So let's say I want a German. So now it's just changed it to full stops, but I can even choose here to have Monday, 15th of February in German, which is obviously what we want if we want the students to write it down in the exercise books or whatever. And I can now decide if I want this on all my slides or just on the first one. So maybe I just want it on the first one because I want them to write down the date and title at the beginning of the lesson. So let's, okay, doesn't let me do it. Let's try it with this one for now. Okay, so now it's added it, but really small in the corner, which is a bit annoying. So we want to make it a bit, want to change the color, make it black, and maybe make it bigger and so on. And because this is a bit annoying and you don't want to do this every time, I would recommend saving this as a template. So you might, I would also choose a nice background picture, but I'm not going to do this now. And then just save this as my date slide. So let's just put it somewhere. Date 2, here we go. Okay, because now when I start a new PowerPoint, so let's say it's next week, I'm doing teaching again, and I start a new presentation, I can now use this reuse slide that Jerome was talking about earlier. So if I go to where is it? Here we go. So home, reuse slide. And now I can just look for that name that I saved it under, so date 2. So it's good to give it an obvious name like date slide or something. Oh, it's not finding it now. Let's find it. Okay, well, here's one that I did earlier. I don't know why it's not finding the one I just did, but you can then reuse it. And I can just click on the slide that I want. And now I've got this slide in there. So obviously now it says Monday, 15th of February, but because it updates automatically, it means if I show this next week, it will then say Monday, the 22nd of February or whichever date it is. So it will always be right for the date, which is great because it means that if you're using the same PowerPoint, year after year, the students will notice that it says 2016 on there because it will always be the date that you're showing it and not the date that it was created, which is the important bit. Okay, so that's really great. So if you haven't got the right language installed on your computer, you can install it. Can you see my taskbar as well, or is that not shared?
Taskbar as in at the bottom, yes.
Like the bottom with the,
yeah.
So if you want to add extra languages to your computer, at least if you're on a Windows PC, I don't know how it is on other, like on a Mac, go to the search bar and just type in language. Oops, language. Oh, I can't spell. There you go. And it should come up with language settings. And then it will let you add extra things. So on here, so you can see here, it says add language. So I can just choose whatever I want. So that's why I just chosen random languages here. You've got all of these. Oh, let's add Burmese. That sounds quite fun. Okay, so we want to add that and we just go to next and it will ask the different features. Let's see, maybe Burmese, it doesn't have very much. Okay, and then you can install it. If it gives you the option to change it to the display language, you might not want to do that because you probably want your computer still to be in English or whatever. So you just want it as an extra language. Right, I lost my Zoom window now. Where's my Zoom gone?
Oh, press escape.
Are you still,
you
are you still there?
away.
There we go. Okay. I just moved to the side and it's disappeared off the side somewhere. There we go. Okay, so this is date. And the other one I wanted to show is how to write foreign characters, because some of the shortcuts don't work in PowerPoint that do work in Word, for example. So there are different ways of doing it. The kind of boring way is go to insert and symbol. That's probably the main way people know and that the students will use. Okay, so you can just insert things there. Then another good trick is if you're on a Windows computer, if you click the Windows key, so the one that has the Windows symbol on it on your keyboard, and full stop at the same time. Wait, why isn't it working now? I'm sorry, that's probably going off before. Not sure why it's not working. Is it working for you? There's no Windows key and full stop, isn't it? And we'll come up with
it definitely should be working. Maybe you got a glitch or something.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm sharing my screen. So normally it should come up with a box which lets you insert lots of smileys, which is great, but also there's a little omega symbol at the top. And if you click the omega symbol, you come up with a whole list of foreign characters as well. So that's a nice way of inserting things, inserting foreign characters as well. But there's also a third way of adding autocorrect to your PowerPoint. So what I've done is that if I write, for example, an A and an E next to each other, and then click space, you see it changed it to an A with umlaut. So I do that again. So AE, as soon as I click space, it's auto-correcting it. You can make up your own kind of shortcut for the foreign characters that you use a lot. So for example, you could do, I don't know, an A with an apostrophe or something to change to an A with accent. And how you do that is you go to File and Options. Then you find a proofing, and here are the autocorrect options. So in there, and this is where you need to then put your foreign character. So you do need to enter it at least once. So you could just use, let's do this here with insert symbol. Let's say we want that funny Swedish O here. Okay, so we'll copy it, then go to File and, sorry, now I need to do it all again. Here we go, File, Options, Proofing, Autocorrect. Okay, so now in the width box, I just copy and, well, I pasted in that O with the line, and then now I need to come up with a shortcut for it. So for example, let's say whenever I do an O and a hyphen straight after it, I wanted to change to that O. Okay, so now I add it, and okay, so I can go out of here, and hopefully now when I do an O and a hyphen, ta-da, it's changed it automatically. And it will automatically turn it into a capital letter if it's the first letter in the word. The problem with this is, why, unfortunately, it kind of slows you down a bit. It will only work if there's a space in front and after it, which is really annoying. If I write this and do a space, it has an autocorrect my OE. While if I put a space there and put a space here, no, it's not doing it either. Okay, with this one it worked. And so unfortunately you have to put that extra space in, and then you just need to delete it afterwards. So it's still not the fastest way, I would say. But it does autocorrect it. And I think it is still faster than going to insert and finding the symbol and so on. I mean, another trick is that if you know you're going to use the same kind of 3 foreign characters a lot in the next text, is to use the Windows key and V, and it will come up with anything you've copied onto your clipboard. So what you could do is copy all those letters you're going to use. So let's say I copy the A. Let's see if that O thing works. No, wait, what was it? There we go. Let's say I also want the O, so I'll also copy this. And now when I'm writing my text, then I just go to Windows key and V, and now it's showing me those 3 things that I've copied, and now I can just quickly paste them in. So that's also a nice way, but it means every time you work on something, you will always need to add them all to your clipboard first, and then copy and paste it in. But the nice thing then is it works across any program. So if you go into Outlook, for example, or Twitter or whatever, you can just paste it in there. So that's a nice little trick. Okay, Jerome, do you want to take over again, or do you want me to talk about design things?
Well, it's up to you. I think the design we're going to keep it for maybe for a bit later, because we've got quite a few things to say.
Okay.
I think if Esther
no, that's fine.
Jerome carries on with what he'd planned.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Is that right? If
okay.
Esther is here, that'd be great. She could be doing the Bitmoji and the link she wanted to speak about, because she prepared it for today. So that'd be great. She could do it. But is she about?
I don't think she is, because she was teaching, isn't she?
She was teaching late, wasn't she?
But I think she's able to come next Monday as well. So
okay, right. So okay. Let's move on then. I'm going to share the screen again. Make sure my presentation is showing. That's it. No, I don't want to leave. I just want to share my screen. There it is.
And your video perhaps as well?
That would be useful. And the video. So should you see? You probably can't see my screen now, can you?
You can see your screen, but not your face.
Not me yet. There we go.
I can, yeah.
I'm back. Right. We continue going through the ribbon, and now we're on shapes. So sometimes it's pretty useful to be using shapes. If I go into these ones here, you have an array of things. Obviously, on top the ones that you used recently, but you have lots and lots of different things. You can even have some action buttons to make your PowerPoint a bit fancier. You can link to the next slide, to the link to something else, a link to a music or something like that. It's nice and easy to do. You can change colors and stuff. You could spend hours on this also, but you can change the textures inside, and you can look like some drawings and stuff. But we don't want to spend 2 days on that. But it's actually quite good to make it a bit looking good and fancy and things like that. What I like in these shapes, you have different possibilities, and I'm quite happy to show how to do these. It's really super simple, but it's very, very fun. So let's get a new slide because I'm still stuck on this one. Let's say that I want to get pictures. So I'm going to get the stock image. And I want to get, let's get a cat. Why not? This one looks quite happy. There we go. Nice little kitten. There we go. And now I want to put that little cat into a shape. So I need to be good to, let's get a heart maybe. There we go. So I just need to draw a heart top. Maybe make it slightly bigger. And again, put in the middle. So I'll select the bottom one first. Then I click on Control and select the second one. If I go here, this area here, you got something called intersect. And if I click on that, there you go.
Oh.
Okay, so you can do that with shapes, and you can put shapes together, and you can do all sorts of things like that. It makes your PowerPoint look a bit fancier. But yeah, putting two shapes together, you can cut things also, and it's quite nice.
I've got a request for a repeat, please.
Certainly,
Yes,
I can do another one.
And especially when you get to the intersect, just pause at that point, so it's almost
Certainly.
where you click for each bit. That'd be great.
Let's take a bigger cat.
Oh,
there you go. There we go. So we've got a bigger cat here, and I want to put it into a shape. So let's go into insert shape, and let's put in a circle this time around. So there we go. Let's get a circle. Now you want to.
so
Actually, my circle is not a circle anymore.
Really slowly.
Okay, so what I need to do now is I've got my circle on top of my line. I click on the background image first, then I push Control down.
Background image, press Control.
Then click on this one. So
Then
select
click on
this
the
too.
shape. Oh, that's the way of selecting both of them. Okay.
Yeah, I should be able to get.
Insert.
Oh, my option didn't come up. Design. There's not that. Draw. No, I'll start again because my option didn't appear. And there. I'm gonna have to start in picture format. Go, go, go. Go, ribbon.
We should rewind the video to see what you did. Did you select both before?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There we go. So I've got to select the two, but I've lost my little insert thing on the side, which appears normally. I'll start again. I rewind again. So let's get.
It's good when you do this. So we see it again.
Right. Let's get my bigger cat. There you go. Here, then a shape, and that's a circle.
If you hold down Shift, it'll make a perfect circle.
That's exactly what I'm doing now, Joe.
Okay.
Actually, because I realized I didn't do it properly. So if you hold Shift, you have your perfect shape. In that is otherwise it's distorted. So exactly what I was doing. So if I click on the back, and after I click on Control or Command into a Mac, there we go. You have the shape format menu, which opens here. And here you have something on this two merge shapes.
So shape format is the menu. Then
shape format is the menu here. Then you have two little circles inside each other. Merge
like
shape.
they're merging the shape.
Onto intersect.
Intersect.
There we go. Okay. And you have your line like this.
Oh.
Okay.
That was great. And it's lovely when people do ask to repeat it, because then I needed that. And it's nice I can say, well, somebody else wanted it. So
Just on that point as well, Jerome, I know
Yes.
you're moving it around with the mouse, but did you know that if you select a shape and you do control and then the arrow keys, you can move it very little increments to the left, the right, up and down?
Joe,
I find-
another top tip.
I
I
find
knew
that
it, but
really,
it's
really
great. It's great that
useful.
you mention it, because I'll do it automatically.
Yeah.
So it's great that it's
Right.
perfect.
lovely. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank. Right, let's go back to the presentation. So that was about shapes, icons. It's quite nice to have icons also. So you go into insert and you have different menus. You got that, the icon one is here. Nothing fancy to do with these ones. Well, actually you can if you wanted to. You can create some menus with it and do all sorts. Just type whatever you need to do into it. And you can change the color, you can change the outlines and all sorts, but it's good to have little icons sometimes in the presentation. I like working myself with icons anyway. I like good looking type of things, and I think it's good for the pupils and all the learners to see something you take care of doing and make sure it looks pretty.
And we were saying that from a languages point of view as well, if you're teaching vocabulary, sometimes if you've got a picture where there are other objects in the picture, it's not always obvious what you're talking about, whereas
Correct.
an icon is the thing. It's already picked it out for you, hasn't it?
Yep, that's really good. 3D models, that's a pretty amazing thing actually, 3D models. And if I go into the other presentation, you can insert all sorts of things. And if you do biology and stuff, you got some stuff about anatomy and chemistry and things like that. I did this one very, very quickly with my son this morning. That was quite good fun if he wants to put it up. You can see 3D models moving around, and you can move them around also. Again, you can do all sorts of things with them if you wanted to. Some people do mini cartoons with these. It would take quite a large amount of time to do that. If I go into the presentation mode, and we did some stuff, and just by clicking the button there, just moving forward and stuff, and the other one's moving also. The one on top should be moving too, but don't seem to be working now. But yeah, it's the 3D models are looking very, very real. I'm not sure what languages wise what you can do with these, but I'm sure you can. People have got a massive amount of imagination, so you can do all sorts of, obviously, create little stories, and maybe ask the learners to be creating stories with 3D models and move things around by doing the action and the paths and stuff. The sky's the limit, really.
I think also people would just be impressed that we could do it. Sometimes just to do something to show off, that'd be quite good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forget
Just
about
to show,
language,
just to
go
show
on.
the children that you're good at with the computers, and say, oh wow, sir, ma'am, you're very good at doing this. It's amazing.
So some lovely ideas as well. Mila has suggested you can use it as a timer if you add the pass. I've got a feeling you might be watching the dinosaur rather than doing whatever it is they're meant to be doing.
Oh yeah. When you do the Conti dictation, isn't it? When you have to count to 10 or something, 10 seconds, and you count that when it reaches the other side, you can. Yeah, that's perfect idea. Great stuff. Smart art, again, all sorts of possibilities that you can do depending. I thought actually you thought of the pyramid, Helen, didn't you? To be using for the pyramid sentences. Obviously you can use one of these. It's really, really straightforward to create. Let's do a quick demo, but I'm sure people will find it really super easy to do that. Create, so we're going to be going into insert, and
it's something where I'd seen Jane Basnett, you do this quite a lot, don't you, with the pyramid? So that's where we thought.
There we go. And obviously you'll have this little plus on the side.
I never
so
did it in the PowerPoint, Helen.
Oh, haven't you? Oh, I thought you'd show me this.
Somehow I don't know how I create it. Yeah.
So if you click on the little plus there, you can add some more text, and you can type it whatever you need to type in, and it will be appearing here. And after, you can change the colors and the shapes and move it around. But it's really super straightforward to be working with. Very, very nice and easy. Okay. I suppose no one's got a question on that. It's quite straightforward. Chart. I don't use myself very much chart either, but you could be doing some stuff like that if you needed to. Again, it's more statistical and also you can do with this, but again, lots of possibilities. You can link it to an Excel document if you wanted to, which could be working at the same time. There's a good one with maps actually, which I tried today. I wanted to impress, but it didn't work out, sadly. I wanted to use the 26 countries speaking French. Is it 26, 27? And sadly on the map, because you can create a spreadsheet and it highlights on the map the countries, but sadly instead of 26, there was about 3 or 4. So it didn't work out so well. So hence me not using it. But you can use it as a map and adding things onto it.
We were saying, weren't we, that probably that there are these other ways that you can very easily project data now, like Mentimeter really in a way means that you don't need, I mean, your idea, you could have put it in a responses in an Excel spreadsheet and seen it come into a chart, but really Mentimeter does that, doesn't it?
Yeah, depending what you're doing, really. But again, it's really up to what people do the use of the PowerPoint for. Some people obviously use it to show statistics and make presentations on the business's profits and losses and all sorts. But obviously, it's not our case as teachers. Maybe it is, but anyway. The Zoom tool. I think we had a request. I don't remember the name of the person who just mentioned that, but yeah, the Zoom tool is amazing. I am going to go back to the top actually, because I used the Zoom tool at the beginning. What they recommend you to do before using the Zoom tool is that you should be creating some sections into your PowerPoint. So,
we say, I mean, overall, the Zoom tool is what is it? It's so that you can have sections.
Yeah, well, you create the sections if you want, but the Zoom tool allows you to make some fancy little graphics. So if I go into my presentation now, I've got that summary that created with the Zoom tool, and when you do that, it's I think that it's a copycat of Prezi, because Prezi done that before PowerPoint. But when you click on this, you move forward, and you're going to get into that section, and you can go back to this after there, and insert tab. So when you're doing your presentation, actually, it's pretty good with your learners, because if you want to do I don't know, you're working on you're presenting your sentence builder, but if you don't want to do a listening exercise straight away and you prepared it already, you say, oh, let's not do a listening first, let's do this instead. So you click on that and you be going straight into your section, to your PowerPoint, and you can start doing this. This is Julia's slide. So I think it's a nice little thing to do, and it looks really good. On top of that, it looks very, very nice. And
you're going to show us how we can do what you've just shown. That's
certainly
right. So I think, Jocelyn, that's what you're wanting to know. Yeah.
I was just showing how it looks first of all, and I'm going to demo now. I'm probably going to have to create some dummy slides before that. Let's do one here. I'm going to insert an image very quickly into it.
Oh, and by the way, somebody asked for this to be demonstrated earlier, so you're now going to see how you click on one of those symbols.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it'll just fill it into that nice little...
Yeah, it's going to fill it. So let's get an aeroplane, because it's the first thing appearing there. No, obviously, we're not seeing very much of these days, but there you go. It just fits in nicely, bang in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to create a new slide also again with, let's do a comparison. And we're going to put some more images also on the side. We don't want planes this time around. We're going to get animals and fox, why not? There you go. Go here and we get some tigers on the other side. Insert. There we go. Okay.
Oh,
so so now what you want to do is, I'm going to get rid of this one. You are going to get into insert, and you're going to get into your Zoom tool. Okay, here is just going to ask me, even if it's going to be a summary Zoom, which is going to be a summary of your PowerPoint. So you're going to go into this, and maybe you don't want the first slide, but you want this slide. So you click on Control or Command to your Mac, do this and that, and insert. Now she's got to be creating a slide with your summary section already. You can still move that in the middle if you wanted to make it a bit more symmetrical, if you like it that way, and you can write a summary.
so that's the way that you've selected some slides to all appear on one slide.
Correct. It does put them all together, and it makes it look quite nice into a little rectangle, and it creates the summary. Okay, so that's nice and easy, and after you can navigate from one to the other. Obviously, I should have more slides underneath, because these are sections. You may have noticed also that it also decided that was section 1, section 2, and section 3, because I picked 1, 2, and 3. So it also divided the PowerPoint into different sections because I did this. So
and
if
can
I
I just
erase,
say again, the way that you selected them, where they were non-adjacent, you did you pressed Control and then.
yeah. So if I go back into insert and go into zoom again, summary zoom, it's already selected here. But again, I just if I deselect, can I deselect? Yeah, probably can do the same thing. So I just need to select by say I want number 4 and I want number 2. So I click on Control and at the same time I click on the mouse or on the pad and then insert. And this time I just only pick 2 this time around. And when I'm going to go into my presentation, so if I go there and I'm going to be clicking on this, and it's going to be going to this one. And if I do that, it's going to be going to that one. Obviously, when I click next, it should be taking me to the next slide in the same section. But obviously, we only have a small amount of slides here, so it doesn't take all the sections that you would like to have, really.
It's great.
Is that clear? And after, if you do, I can get rid of my summary section if I don't want it. I'm just going to remove the section there by clicking on it. I could do the same thing there also if I want to add another zoom, and I can do a section zoom. You just pick only, let's say I just want this again and Control and that one there, but you're not going to see very much difference. But the fact that it's going to be putting into this slide and these are going to be together. Okay, so you click on the side again and you move them around and you position them wherever you want them to be. So let's say I want to put them here and there. Obviously, I should have created a new slide to put them onto, but I didn't do here. So when I go into my presentation, if I click on this, it's going to be going onto this one.
And how do you get out of that now? This is what
after the same thing. If you want to get out, you just
so you click to go there.
Yeah, and after I click on it on it again, and I just
click once again to come out again. So I think that was what Rebecca was asking. Is that right?
That's it. And
Sylvia had already answered. Sorry.
And you have also the other one. So if I want to insert again, zoom. Slide zoom, it will be exactly the same. It will be just selecting an array of just a slide. If I just wanted to be doing that just for one section, I've got something section on planes or something, and I want to navigate from one to the other to the other to the other to make it very fancy and very pretty like. It will be doing exactly the same thing. But I think it gives it quite a nice I don't know, a nice movement, and it makes it a bit fancy also, doesn't it? I think I quite like the fact that you can move from one to the other. I think that it looks very good. I
think when you're talking to me about it, the idea of having sections is good, where you've got a very long PowerPoint going through lots of sections of the lesson, and you don't know how long it's going to take for each bit. The idea that you could just go to something and quickly get to your next section instead of.
I think it's very handy.
That's really seemed to be a good way people.
It's very handy. It actually was the case for today because there's lots and lots of sections for today. So there we go. So that was the example of moving from one to the other, and I was a video on that, but there was no need to do that because I did a demo. Moving on to object, unless anyone's got any questions. That's quite a little nifty tool also. So if the object is here, so on the Mac, it's a bit more annoying because you don't, the selection here, you can put some Word document or Excel document directly into your PowerPoint. They will be appearing as just a document, just like a picture. So that could be quite useful if you've got something already done, you don't want to type it up again, or you can take a screenshot of it, but if you just do that, it will be appearing there. You have more options when you work on Windows. You can add some PDF and you can have some PowerPoint in a PowerPoint, which is pretty amazing. So you can have a PowerPoint in a PowerPoint if you wanted to. Why not? I like Russian dolls. So objects are, yeah, it's quite handy, and you have several possibilities again. So I don't know if you want to put a document and you don't want the learners to be using Google Translate, just put your document inside your PowerPoint and they shouldn't be able to copy because it's just a picture.
And you've chosen a very good example there of what you might want to put into a PowerPoint, because earlier on we were saying that it's fiddly doing tables. So it seems to be easier doing tables in Word to then insert that Word document as a picture almost. Can you edit that, or is that's just?
No, it saves time. It definitely saves time. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly to do the tables in it's like doing tables in I don't know if I've quite a few people who use Canva, but if you want to do tables in Canva, it's a nightmare. It's very difficult. So I try to do them, and I do take pictures now of Word. Unless someone's got some good tips on how to make tables in Canva, please get in touch. But otherwise, I just do it in Word and take pictures and put it in as a picture.
And can I check, by embed, you've embedded it as an image, have you?
Yeah, it's an image. Yeah.
You can't edit that, obviously, but
why if it's a link, it's linked actually. So if you make if you change a word into your original document, you can. It will be changing here too. So that's very clever.
Yeah.
Moving on to video, that's exciting too. When you want to insert videos, you can insert videos from your video folder already. Video from file, insert videos from anywhere in your computer, or online film, which is you can insert some videos from YouTube, Vimeo, or Stream. So it does work with Stream too. I checked, it does work very, very well. So let's have a play. So let's go into the new slide.
And can I just say that the stream, it works if you have got the rights to be able to access that stream, doesn't it? Because
yes, you should be able to. If you publish some films on it, you should be able to have access to it, I suppose. I've got an example. I'm going to put video there, and I've got online film, and I've got my notepad where I picked. If you want to appear, I've got a link to the stream. There we go. Put it back down there, put it here, and insert, and if everything goes all right, you should have a video, and it should be working too. These are some recipes that I did with my son in the lockdown 1.0, and what we're sending out to the learners how to make some tarte au chocolat, and so it was a good idea to do stuff like that, because not only I was doing some stuff with my son, and at the same time I was preparing some work, so that was perfect. And
it just makes us hungry just hearing you say tarte au chocolat. There's something about those words.
Tarte au chocolat. And
can I just check, because Chiara has said if you've uploaded a video to Stream and insert it, can everyone view it? They can only view it if they've got access, if you've allowed access through your stream. Yes. So for example, this particular PowerPoint which Jérôme shared with me, when I got to that slide, I clicked on it, and I'm not allowed to because I'm not part of your institution. But
so
if you
couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point. And however, if you are using online film and you use a YouTube video, so if I go into my notepad and use that YouTube one, again, that's one of these recipes also I use with my son. We did a few of them, and hopefully, there you go. This time is le pain à la banane, and you can put them together here. If I go back to Zoom, actually, that we've been talking just before, and I popped something on Twitter over the weekend, and you can make some video gallery with it also, which is very, very easy to do. So you put your videos in slides and stuff, and if you want to pop about 6 videos on the same slide, and you can move from one to the other, it's very, very straightforward to do. And in a presentation, if you want to do it, just need to hide your slides. This way, when you've got your title and your 6 videos, and you don't see below that you have 6 videos below, or 7 or 8 or 9, whatever you want to do. So there we go.
Can we, just while we're on the insert video, because Jane has said that you can upload a video into PowerPoint. Presumably that makes the PowerPoint very big, does it? Because that would then
it does, yeah, it does. So there's a way to minimize also the PowerPoint, the quality. I think you have to go into the settings, and you can diminish the quality of the PowerPoint. You don't have to make it too big.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if you have videos instead of links, it's going to make it very, very heavy, indeed. Let's move on to the next bit. And at one point, it's already 9 o'clock. People hopefully are not falling asleep. So we've been on for a while. And I can go into the audio bits. And after that, Helen, if you want to call it a day, and we can move on.
And then we've got another date, haven't we, next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just
so we've got another 4 minutes, and then we'll or whatever it takes for this section.
No, it's quite straightforward. It's quite quick. Insert audio. So again, same business. If you go into your insert and audio, slightly hidden by this little thing there, I can move it around. on that side. You have audio browser, so insert audio from your audio folder, insert audio from anywhere in your computer on audio from, and you can record audio here. So if you want to record something, you pop it into it, and it's very, very straightforward. You can say something, and there's also the option to actually edit it into it. So you record, then you insert, then you have your little sound file appearing just like this. But if you're not too happy with it, because there's too much at the beginning or too much at the end, you can trim it. So you can trim the beginning, you can trim the end. Obviously, it's not as good as an audio editor, but if you want to trim the beginning or the end or something because you spend too much time or there's a bit of noise at the beginning or something, you can trim it directly into it. And you can also add bookmarks into it if you want you have a whole file and you just want to go to a certain bit of it, or if you want to divide in several bits for a listening exercise, for example, question 1, question 2, and 3, and 4, you can still do that very easily, adding bookmarks. So this way, it's easier for you to put it back on, or easier for your learners to know where they are and start again listening to the question again.
And Julia was saying, is it right, you can download that so that if you want to do any fancier editing, you could download it as a file and
Correct.
do it.
Yeah, you can.
You were saying,
definitely.
Julia. Mm-hmm.
And the last bit, putting music in the background, and that was the case that my wife did an assembly last week, I think that was, and she wanted to have a music played in the background all the way, which is absolutely fine. So it's pretty straightforward as long as you have your sound file into it, and when you click on the slide, you insert your music, and you just have to select the option play in the background, start automatically, and play across slides. And you can also decide to loop until stop if you wanted to. If your PowerPoint is very long and you have only 3 or 4 pieces of music and you want them to repeat because you want to finish the music, or you want to finish your PowerPoint with music on all the way, like a colleague of mine does with the levers assemblies and stuff. He always wants a music over, and it's good. And so when something finishes, instead of having a very long file, it just loops and starts again. And it's very, very straightforward to do. That's me, I think. Nearly bang on 9 o'clock.
Can I just ask a question, Jérôme? With the audio, if you insert an audio file, does it have to be WAV, or can you insert an MP3 file? Because I seem to remember in the past with
but you know more than I do, because you're an absolute expert with all these things.
In the past, to embed an audio file into a PowerPoint, it would have to be WAV, which would obviously be much bigger.
Let me check just my desktop
MP3, you'd have to link it, so you'd have the file and the PowerPoint in a separate folder. When you shared it, you wouldn't be able to embed it, whereas with the WAV file, you would be able to embed it into.
If I go on my desktop, I've got my wife's folder somewhere with all the screenshots I've been taking, as you can see, and I can have a check at the music thing, and I'm quite certain that it's here. No, it's an MP3, so no problem.
Right.
That's
so when you insert the MP3 into the PowerPoint, does it embed it into it, or do you have to it does?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because there's no problem.
So when you share that with someone, you don't have to share the MP3 file separately.
No, I don't think so.
That's what you had to do in the past.
Mind you, because she did film. No, she did a loom on it, so I don't know. Actually, I cannot confirm. I don't want to say some silly things. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
So can we really say, Jérôme, Julia, if anybody wants to open up their actually, have I made it so you're allowed to do things?
Stop sharing.
I've stopped everybody doing anything, so you're now allowed to unmute. You're allowed to. I think you've been allowed to show your videos anyway. That's right. So it'd be lovely to see people's faces now, to be able to say, on behalf of everybody, Jérôme and Julia, that was amazing. Really, really
and
good.
Jane and
so if we can all give a round of applause to everybody.
Thank you.
That, I mean, you'll be able
Great
to read
teamwork.
the comments, and I mean, I'd already been amazed because I'd had a sneak preview, but absolutely brilliant, really, really good. And just to say thank you so much on behalf of everybody to the team of people here who've put this together.
Absolutely.
People giving up their half term, all the preparation that's gone into it. We had, sort of brainstormed ideas, and then suddenly it seemed overnight, Jérôme just came up with that PowerPoint with everybody's ideas in it. So just such generosity and willing to share. It's great. It really is.
Teamwork.
Yeah, that's right. So I think thanks to everybody. I'm sure loads of people have lots of questions, but I think since that we've gone on this time for deliberately for the 90 minutes, and we're going to be meeting again next Monday at the same time, 7:30. If you'd like to sort of, I mean, if you want to, in the Eventbrite, I'll be sending you a link to the recording and to everything. If there's anything you desperately want us to be including, perhaps you could put that in an answer to the email. Is that okay, everybody? Yeah. Because I think, you've been going for an hour and a half. Everybody's been doing quite a lot. So, and can I say thank you as well to Adeline, who has been our chief bouncer.
Absolutely, yeah.
And for those of you who are still here, just to say that I think that's what we will do in future. We will say we'll stop the. I think that's fair, isn't it? Stop the registrations half an hour before. It gives us time just to be able to look through everybody. And by not having the registrations open at the time when we're going, then we're not going to have rogue people thinking, let's go along and join in. Is that all right? Okay. Well, thank you ever so much. Really, really good. And can I take a little screenshot of everybody before everyone goes? I know people are having to leave, but I'll take a. So if you're happy to have your face showing, for some reason, all these months I've only had 24 in each one, but now I can see 48 of you together, or 49. So that'd be much better. So here goes. I'm about to take a couple. Good. RRM's in there. And Patty's iPhone, good. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. There's one. And I'll just go to see if there's another screen as well, full there. There's Michelle there. 1, 2, 3. And that's lovely. Okay. So thank you ever so much for coming. Feel free to leave any comments in the chat or just wave to us. That'd be lovely.
And so, Joe, I'm going to have a look at the MP3 WAV thing.
Because the reason I say that is because I worked out a little trick to make the MP3 file think it was a WAV file, so you could then embed it. Whereas in the past, certainly up to at least PowerPoint 2010, when you shared the file, you had to put it in a folder with the MP3
Amazing. File. It was fab. Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a look into it.
No worries.
I like Rebecca's background. She's joined into the spirit of the PowerPoint party.
Oh, yes. Look at that. Oh, we should, well, for next Monday, PowerPoint part 2.
DJ.
Nice one, Rebecca.
It's good I've allowed that. And there's Esther. Esther's with us now. Lovely.
Esther, you can do your stuff later. It was so good, your Bitmoji and stuff.
Well, we can have that to look forward to next Monday, can't we?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I do think it is important, that idea of just because people were so amazed by those things. And when it's the very first time you realise that can happen, it really seems to be good. Oh, Patty said, Joe, please share your trick. Sorry,
well, I'll do that next time, shall I?
Oh, yes. So that will make you sure you come back.
Yeah,
See
absolutely.
Joe's
it's
trick.
a really good one.
Cliffhanger.
I'm going to have to have a look at
I have tweeted about it. If you do a search for Joe Dale PowerPoint, you'll find it. Last year I tweeted about it because I've got the link here, but I'll share it next time.
Because Joe Dale and PowerPoint, I think it must have been, I don't know, 20 years, I don't know how many years you've been doing this, but PowerPoint was really your thing, and you used to.
It was, yeah. I did a famous presentation
the right
back
colour.
2006 called Death by PowerPoint, Keep Your Finger on the Trigger. So we haven't talked about triggers tonight, but triggers are also amazing in PowerPoint.
Mm. Yeah, we've got a little, we've worked out the sequence in which we're going to go through, and then because there are so many things, aren't there, really? But it's almost, I think it's quite good when you're starting to know, well, where, almost before the shortcut, just know where is it anyway, and then afterwards almost sometimes shortcuts, but just to know where it is on the ribbon. Brilliant, really good.
Did you already share the PowerPoint, or are you going to send it out? Because that has the codes in it as well. People ask
it's not coming here?
Actually, what we could do is if Jerome, you can, are we all right if we share that PowerPoint, if we take the bits out that we're going to do next Monday, so that we're just showing the bits that we've done, is that okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Probably, and then people will know that that's the PowerPoint that goes with this time, and then within that if you put the codes as the very first PowerPoint, first slide.
Yep, I'll do that.
And I'll
catch Jane's one in the chat from earlier on,
yeah, and I'll put the follow-up, the mail that I sent to everybody on Eventbrite, I'll put that as the very first thing in font pitch 30 or 48.
That was amazing. I don't use PowerPoint, but there are some features. Sometimes I use little things, like the pyramid and things like that. Very, very, very useful. So thank you.
Good.
Amazing teamwork.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Design.
Stop recording now.